So, your loved one died. Well, that's too bad. But don't be a big fuddy-duddy about it. Let's finish things off with a bang. Here at Mortuary Max, we know you're not in the mood to be making a bunch of awful decisions. You got grieving to do. That's why we keep it simple with 3 easy options. First, our most popular is the Mortuary Max Dignity Package. You get the standard receptacle of your choice, a private viewing room, and our Double M 9 feet deep guarantee. Now, let's say you want to add a little something special for Pop's big day. You can spring for Mortuary Max Dignity Plus, where we throw in an extra box of personalized weeping napkins, as well as musical accompaniment and comfort from Miracle Paul and the Pallbearers, our very own bereavement barbershop quartet. Pop will dance his way through the pearly gates. But if that's too steep for your budget, you can opt for the Mortuary Max Dig Plan. It's just like the Dignity Package, but without all the fancy stuff. No songs, no sermon, no receptacle, but you can still count on our certified Mortuary Max Double M 9 feet deep guarantee. So when it comes to the sacred remains of your most treasured loved ones, make sure every blessed soul is treated with the utmost reverence, respect, and, what have ya. At Mortuary Max, don't settle for the rest in peace. Get buried with the best. At Mortuary Max, we've got you covered.
Before history was history, fools were we. Then we climbed a tree and finally we could see. Oh, then the internet made us smart, now know everything, do we? Thus we share with thee these trifleries, till nobody learns a thing.
What you got, Jay? Give us the lowdown.
Okay, so you gentlemen may already know about me that I am a big fan of consumer advocacy.
Yeah.
And a real stickler for good customer service experiences.
Yeah.
I used to work in the service industry, and so I had to train on how to deliver good customer service.
And for those who are not sure, I want to make sure we're not talking about the service like the military.
I was pretty sure he was talking about his job at Taco Bell.
Okay.
Similar.
All right. Well, you still wear a uniform.
So, because of that experience, I now, as a customer, I'm looking for customer service at a certain level.
Sure.
So,
you're saying higher than the normal person might. Perhaps one of those people.
Yeah.
And which I think we all would agree,
Sensitive.
since the pandemic, that has dwindled.
Oh, yeah. There has been a drop in customer
Huge drop.
yeah. So whenever I experience poor customer service, I generally make it known. I will make my displeasure known.
Yes, he does.
To the horror of my children, sometimes I do it in purpose. Like, could I speak to your manager? They hate that.
Are you a Karen? Are you an official Karen?
What's the male version of a Karen?
I don't know. I saw one today, and they just called the dude a Karen.
Okay.
Don't be a Nancy. It's, I think a Karen, yeah.
But sometimes I will hold my tongue until later and then write an angry letter.
Yeah.
So I'm big on the angry letters.
He's very good at this. John, have you read any of his angry letters?
I have not had the pleasure. In fact, when you brought this up as a podcast topic, I was a little skeptical until you told me the letter that you were thinking. But boy, you were like just championing the idea that this is at the top of the heap of the letters.
Yeah.
But I didn't find it. I didn't know if it was. I thought some of it was not angry. I mean, there was some more disappointment. But you're
not angry at you.
Your string along was absolutely brilliant. It made me laugh out
It was
loud.
a lot of fun. This is not, to your point, this is not a traditional angry letter where I've found the name and address of the customer service department of XYZ Corporation.
Right.
Copied the CEO on it. I do that to sometimes great success. 50% of the time, it works every time.
Lovely.
Well, I can tell you real quick, Exxon's going to get a letter from me, and I may have you help me write it, Jay.
I'd be delighted.
Yeah, no deodorant in their Quick Mart.
What?
So yeah,
man, don't they know who shops there?
Stinky people.
So this was sort of in the vein of an angry letter, and it was just fun to write. Everyone, I think, by now is aware of the trend of Nigerian scam artists, the Nigerian prince who needs.
No, I don't remember the full. I don't remember the full scam, but I remember that there was a Nigerian prince that needed
a lot of times they've been overthrown. They've got to escape the country because their power has been wielded away from them.
I know, like they
need to get to rescue, but they have about $20 million in their account that they need to move out, kind of undercover, secretly.
Right. And you're gonna,
and if you will just take it, you can keep a portion of that, upwards of $5 million. I mean, that's what I got.
Oh, you got one.
They need a little upfront investment from you, to help flee the country, and then they will reward you greatly.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Because secrets bank account, in the Caymans.
Sounds completely reasonable.
So
it's American dream.
There's another version that's not specifically a Nigerian prince, but several scams issuing out of Nigeria for some reason. And
can I suggest that they're coming from Nigeria? Maybe.
What, the scams?
Yeah. Well, or it's like some, that's just, if you're going to run a scam, might as well say you're from Nigeria.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Are you saying there's Nigerian princes right now just going, what the hell? Why are we getting blamed for this?
I didn't do anything.
I'm doing fine in my castle. Or palace. Or maybe hut.
As this story unfolds, there is evidence that my guy actually came from Nigeria.
Okay.
And so I'll just launch in. Tell you what happened.
All right.
We start with a quick explanation of Craigslist for those of our listeners that aren't Generation X. Craigslist is a largely reputable internet service that allows people to post free one ads. It has a presence in pretty much every big city in the US and is sort of a cross between eBay and the classified section of your local newspaper, except it's free. The premise is very basic. You go to the Craigslist URL that covers your town and you navigate to the section that either has the sorts of things you want to buy or want to sell. Once there, you can browse for something to purchase, or you can post an ad. You write the blurb for your merchandise, no word limit, and then you can either add in the description that you have pictures of your item available to send, or you can actually post them to the page, which is also free. You provide your email address, Craigslist publishes your ad, and the next thing you know, people are emailing you to ask for pictures or if they can come look at the stuff, etc.
I got a water barrel. A guy used to ship giant barrels of olive oil and olives.
So you got an olive oil barrel.
Yeah. Smelled like olives for a little while. Now it just smells like rotten. Never mind.
Show me later. So I've used Craigslist to sell loads of stuff. It's been very successful. And
Pal, have you seen my car? I don't.
Oh, I see what's going on.
Yeah,
a picture of it.
So when
on Craigslist,
I posted an item for sale 20 years ago. This story is now 20 years old. It just celebrated its 20th anniversary.
Oh, this is not something that happened last week. And boy, do I have a story for you fellas. This is
supposed to go on for a while. The whole thing, from what I understand.
I don't think it went on for 20 years.
I didn't know they had email back then.
I mean, I presume this guy is on the 19th year of his 50-year prison sentence.
Okay.
At this point.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Let's wait till the end of the story.
Those spoilers. So when I posted this item for sale on Craigslist Craigslist was already well aware that there were some scam artists out there using Craigslist to try to scam people. And so when I posted this thing for sale, they have lots of warnings that pop up to be like, if you're selling something, seller, you should be aware of these types of scams that frequently happen here on Craigslist.
That's good. That's responsible of them.
Yeah. So there were like five different common scams that they wanted to warn against. And one of them is, I'll read aloud. I'll skip over the rest of the warnings. But this one is a counterfeit cashier's check and money transfer scam where a distant buyer offers a high value but fake cashier's check in exchange for your item. It says you receive an odd email offering to buy your item sight unseen. Cashier's check is offered for your sale item as a deposit for a part. Value of cashier's check often far exceeds your item. Buyer asks you to wire the balance via money transfer service. Banks will often cash these fake checks and then hold you responsible when the check fails to clear.
Because it's you signed for it or what have you.
The scam often involves a third party, like a shipping agent or a business associate owing buyer money, etc. So I was aware of this warning when I posted my thing. So I will move on. Here's what my online posting was. I had a couch to sell. And so armed with this information about the potential baddies I might run into, I set out to make the sale on Craigslist. Here is my ad. 7-foot sofa available, $45. Sofa for sale in the Montrose River Oaks area. The measurements are length, 7.5 feet, height, 29 inches, depth, 40 inches.
It's a good couch. Nice couch.
It is a very pale pastel color by design, not because of fading. That is a blend between peach and pink. Structurally,
by design.
It is in terrific shape. Not at all rickety. The cushions are still full and comfortable. Appearance-wise, I think it would do just fine as it is. There are minor stains that I think could be cleaned off with upholstery cleaner. I have not yet tried. It would, of course, be perfect with a slipcover. I recently had 2 garage sales, but they both got rained out. So I had no customers for this piece, but it really is nice. I had it priced at $45 for the garage sales. Pictures are available for any interested parties. That was it.
That's a little, I'm not going to, I mean, Craigslist is still around. I mean,
so is the sofa.
You gave a lot of information, Jay.
Yeah.
That was
I wanted to be thorough.
Okay. He even gave suggestions on how
he wanted to be thorough as to narrow down a very seriously interested buyer.
Okay. Someone from Nigeria.
Let's not play around here. I want only the people that know exactly what I'm talking about,
but
that
without
are interested. But with
did you
they're
have
available
you didn't have a picture?
if you're interested.
The listing, included an offer to show pictures. Yes,
but they were not forthcoming. I mean, the pictures were not already there.
Correct.
Right.
You had to request them.
These days, will
always
always include pictures with the listing. But back then, I think it was a deal where
they were
optional.
Probably higher res and took up more space or not res, but
bandwidth,
larger files that we couldn't handle.
A server big enough to handle all those pictures at the time.
All your porn.
So I ended up getting 7 different responses to this ad. And for the most part, they all went something like this. Can you please send me a picture of your couch? Here's my email. Or, I think I live near you. Can you please tell me when would be a convenient time to come see the sofa? Here's my phone number. One response, though, was markedly different. It read as follows.
And this is the part where John is going to play a character.
Yeah.
From Mr. Norman Chris, sent Saturday, May 22nd, 2004, 7:37 a.m. to Jay Hickman 88 at .com. Subject, interested. Well, excuse me, interested.
Yeah, that's misspelled.
So spelled incorrectly. Interested. Okay. Greetings. I am highly interested in buying your parentheses 7-foot sofa from you. I will like you to give me the asking price and also scan the pics for me for proper verification with a Y. As for the shipping,
Can I have a bell?
I have a liable shipper that takes goods care of all my shipping. So, period, not capitalized.
Yeah.
So, about payment, I have prepare a cashier's check for you in USA Fund. So please email me back so that we can conclude about it. And I would like you to feed me out of this, i.e., your personal, with 2 L's, phone num, and UR address with 1 D, and UR email so that I can fax it to my client, cause
Ding.
COZ, he is willing to send you the check, email ASAP. Please, PLS, reply back, Mr. Norman.
Naturally, this email seemed highly suspect, so I forwarded it to the fraud department at Craigslist. I received a nearly immediate reply. They verified that this did indeed look like a trademark scam and that I should not respond. Further, I could, if I wished, forward the email to some governmental agencies who were investigating this scam and trying to prosecute the perpetrators. I wrote back to the fraud department representative and asked 2 questions. 1, what would be the most effective agency to pursue this with? And 2, as long as I promised not to provide this guy with any of my personal information, would it hurt for me to write him back and string him along a bit? The rep wrote back again and answered only the first of my 2 questions. He said that I should contact the Internet Fraud Complaint Department and gave me a link. He didn't seem to think much of my other idea. So I went to this website of the Internet Fraud Complaint Department and filled out a form. I got a notice saying they had received my information and that it would be processed duly. I should not necessarily expect to hear anything from them regarding the information. So not very interactive. So I decided to also write back Mr. Norman. Before I did, though, I called my bank and spoke to a rep there named Melissa. I asked Melissa if she had heard of the Nigerian cashier's check scam. She had. I then told her that I had been offered a cashier's check and would it be okay if I had it sent to the bank on my behalf? After it arrived, would she be able to verify the funds for me? Would there be any charge for her to do so? She said she'd be happy to arrange that service at no cost to anyone.
Oh, all right.
Splendid.
Yeah.
What follows is the complete record of my correspondence with this Mr. Norman. The emails will be interrupted intermittently to offer some explanation, but for the most part, you'll be hearing the direct transcripts.
Mm-hmm. As performed by your
Yes.
friends, Jay and John and Kyle.
Reading the part of Mr. Norman is John Swayze. Reading the part of Jay Hickman as an emailer is Kyle Jim. Couldn't be more excited about
I'm
these casting
excited.
choices. So a quick note before we begin. I found it quite curious and amusing that Norman had asked me to give him the asking price of the sofa, particularly because it was listed twice within my ad.
Yeah.
The asking price was $45.
I heard.
Anybody could see that. But since he asked, cut
This
to
is
Kyle Jones.
sent. This is sent Saturday, May 22nd, 2004 at 10:37 a.m. Is that the same day, or is that the same day? Because it was at 7:30 he got a hold of you.
Yeah, it was the same day.
Okay. To Mr. Norman Chris, subject RE, interested. Reminder that is misspelled, and we will have a, oh, come on.
This is so sad.
That's ridiculous. Anywho, I'll fix that later.
Okay.
What happened?
Anyway, so sent Saturday, May 22nd, 2004, 10:37 a.m. to Mr. Norman Chris, subject RE, interested. Mr. Norman, normally I would not conduct business with a client or agent that did not know the proper spelling of the word verification, but in your case, I'm willing to make an exception. I can see that you and I are going to get along just fine. I have attached 2 photos of the sofa for you to show you to your client. The first is of the entire piece of furniture, and the second is a close-up of one of the cushions to give you a better idea of the sense of color and fabric texture. The asking price for this sofa is $900 US. Oh, that's a bump. Oh, please ask your client if this is acceptable. I'm sure he will agree, given that this is an original Broadway sofa from the Bridgeford Santa Monica collection, which retails at more than double that price. Please contact me to ensure that this price is agreeable to your client, and then we can proceed from there. Many thanks, Mr. J.
From Mr. Norman Chris, a.k.a. Mr. Norman at uymail.com. Saturday, May 22nd, 2004, 1:06 p.m. Subject, base on trust. Hello,
Base.
Mr. J. I have seen the price and it's okay by me. Then I have instructed my client in USA to issue the cashier's check to you. Meanwhile, I also instructed him to include $2,600 on the payment. So you should expect a cashier check of $3,500. The excess is for my shipper that will be coming up for pickup. The funds will be used for the shipping of the sofa, in parentheses, alongside 3 other cars I placed order for in care of my shipper. I'll employ, with an I, you to wire the balance via Western Union money transfer to my shipper as soon as you receive the check. My shipper will come for pickup on a specified date that will be convenient for you. I hope I can count on you for my balance. I also want this to be based on trust so that I can trust you. P.S. I need your contact info, such as name in full, address, your city, your state, your zip code, your phone number, both cell and home. Please email me ASAP with all details. Thanks, Mr. Norman.
This is not nice for you guys to mess with a guy with obvious mental problems.
So I should interject here to say that pretty quickly, my wife, Frankie, found out that I was doing this and thought I was insane.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, what a colossal waste of time. And secondly, like,
why are you selling my sofa? I was thinking,
Wait, where's
what
the
the hell's
sofa?
going on here?
I was like, Frankie, if
you
this
seem to
deal
be
goes
sitting
through,
on it.
We could be rich. But where's he getting 3 cars for $3,500 or
Well, that's
less?
part of the
Less
scam.
45, less 900, I guess.
he's paying for the car separately. That's shipping.
Oh,
So shipping of this amount, $3,500, is going to cover shipping of the sofa and 3 cars
and the price of the sofa.
and the price of the sofa.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know how much they've paid for the cars.
All right. So then I'm sure this is when you get back to them.
Yes. So this is my one flaw is that I did not include a timestamp on this email. My apologies, Kyle Jones,
That's all right.
but you're up.
Okay. Mr. Norman, thank you for your prompt response. I'm delighted that your client approves the cost of the sofa, particularly as it is sight unseen. I am very excited to proceed with our transaction. Please have your client make out the cashier's check in the amount of $3,500 US to Jay Hickman and mail it to Jay Hickman, care of Melissa, Washington Mutual Bank. Oh, Melissa is my personal banker. After she has received the cashier's check on my behalf, she will conduct her own verification, spelled in the original way, of the check. Once she has assured me that it has cleared, then and only then will I wire the additional $2,600 to your shipper. His name again? Question mark, parentheses. I'm sorry to have to involve a middleman like this, but these are uncertain times. You can never be too careful. For example, did you know that there are people out there who are trying to scam innocent online merchants by sending them counterfeit cashier's checks and then having those sellers wire additional money to a third party, only for the seller to later find out that the cashier's check was a fraud and that they are now responsible for those funds? Can you believe that? All caps. Not that I think that of you, Mr. Norman. I can tell that you are a man of the utmost scruples and integrity, particularly since you mentioned that part about how this transaction should be based on trust. That's the part that really set me at ease. All the same, it's best to be careful, right, Mr. Norman? So I think I'll do it. Please let me know when the check is on the way, and I will be in touch with Melissa to take the next steps. I am very much looking forward to doing business with you, sir. Warmest regards, Mr. J.
Saturday, May 22nd, 2004, 1:58 p.m. Are you still selling it to me? And thanks for your advice.
Saturday, May 22nd, 2004. That's like Army clock. What is happening?
I know it changed.
4:29. Also same day, a little later. Mr. Norman, of course I'm still planning to sell you the sofa. Why did you think I wasn't? I am eager to proceed. Please make out the cashier's check in the amount of $3,500 US to Jay Hickman and mail it to Jay Hickman, care of Melissa, blah, 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 blah. Do we need to talk? Is that it? If so, that will be just fine. Just give me your phone numbers, both home and cell, and I will give them to Melissa. She and I will call you on conference, and we can sort out all the details. I'm excited to get the ball rolling. Most sincerely, Mr. J.
From Mr. Norman Chris, Mr. Norman at uymail.com. Sunday, May 23rd, 2:04, 5:42 a.m.
Ooh, he took
Subject, understanding.
Nigeria time.
Right.
All caps. Hello, Jay.
Oh.
I am happy to see your mail.
Oh.
I spoke with my client regarding the check today, and she has promised to issue it to your location. She just kept on saying trust, and I told her to stay cool in this transaction, that I have confirmed
So
from you,
good.
and we can trust you. She also said the excess funds will be wired down to the shipper that base in Nigeria
Ooh.
just as soon as you can get the check. I hope this is understandable. And Jay, your address has been faxed to her for the sending of the check. Please stay calm. You will get it soon. Say me well to your family, Mr. Norman.
So, quick note here. Do you recall that in his first two emails from Saturday, May 22nd, Mr. Norman referred to his client as a him?
Yeah.
I found it curious.
Well, okay. All right. So, So Sunday, May 23rd,
104.
104:37 to Mr. Norman Chris. Mr. Norman, I was so happy to get your email. I thought maybe you were going to flake on me. Anyway, I'm glad that you were able to ameliorate. Ooh, he's not going to know that word, Jay.
I don't know. He seems very well spoken.
I'm glad that you were able to ameliorate your client. She sounds like quite the firecracker. What is her name, by the way? I take it that the check will be issued directly to her. Also, how long does it normally take for a cashier's check to arrive? I feel good to be dealing with such an experienced businessman as yourself, Mr. Norman. You have really helped me to keep a clear head as you've overseen this rather complicated transaction with so many parties involved. I hope we might be able to do business in the future, even after your client receives her sofa and 3 automobiles. Anyway, since I now know that the sale is actually going to take place, I feel it only fair to let you know. The Broadway sofa has a significant stain on the back of it. I didn't mention it before because, again, it is on the back of the sofa, which has always been pushed up against the wall, so was not visible. About a year ago, I had a leak in my ceiling, which ran down the living room wall and made a huge wet spot on the back of the Broadway. Since it was pushed up against the wall, the moisture stayed trapped there for a long time and mildew formed on about 2 square feet of the sofa fabric. I did put Clorox bleach on the stain and let it soak for a good while. You're just wasting his time. This is so good.
Yeah.
So it did kill all the mildew, but don't worry about that. However, it did leave some slight discoloration, which again is completely unnoticeable as long as you keep the sofa pushed up against the wall. I want to assure you, Mr. Norman, I am thoroughly trustworthy. I'm going to show the buyer this stain when he or she came to, I was going to show the buyer this stain when he or she came to actually pick the sofa up. But since I take it I won't get a chance to meet you in person, I wanted to tell you. Will you please ask the client if this is all right with her? I hope so, because I am still very eager to conduct the sale with you. Thank you so much for your continued help, Mr. Norman. I'm very excited. All the best to you, Mr. J. Oh, P.S. Thank you for your well wishes to my family. But what family? I'm an only child, and I live very far from my parents. We are rarely in touch. Besides, I have not yet met the girl of my dreams. Is your client single by any chance?
Mr. Norman Chris. Date Monday May 24, 2004, 3:22 a.m. Subject urgent.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Thanks for the swift reply. I just want to inform you that you will receive the check on Wednesday, so stay calm for the arrival of the check. Okay? And one more thing, I will want you to provide your phone number.
So a note here. On this day, Monday, May 24th, I actually sold the couch to a young lady who had emailed to say she wanted to come by and see the piece and potentially buy it on the spot. Incidentally, it did not have any of the damage I had described to my con man friend. And so she did purchase the couch and hauled it off that night. I could see how this
$45?
Yeah, for 45 American dollars. A good deal.
Yeah.
I could see how this might put a crimp in my arrangement with Mr. Norman. So I decided not to let that slip right away.
Yeah, good idea.
Now, I would like to just add that what a funny twist it would have been had the next email from Mr. Norman read, "No thanks, my client just found a couch for only $45.
And that was her the whole time.
That would have been.
That's not what happened, is it?
No, it's not. Because
close.
At Tuesday, May 25th, 2004 at 3:40 p.m. To Mr. Norman Chris, subject, the next step. Mr. Norman, I am excited for our transaction to continue tomorrow when I receive your check. I presume that you will have further instructions for me at that time. Will they be arriving in the envelope with the check, or will you provide them via email? I am eager to get this sofa to its new owner. Speaking of the sofa, I wanted to let you know, last night when I was tidying up the couch, preparing it for transport, I saw a small black insect crawl out from beneath one of the cushions. It was maybe a flea or maybe a small weevil. Anyway, I lifted the cushion and found a few more. It was easy for me to just sweep them away, but I couldn't help but wonder if maybe there were more inside. I don't know if there were or not, but I'm not too worried. I'm sure they'll all die by the time they get to Nigeria. It's hot there, right? Just in case, though, do you have a pet? If so, be sure you don't bring him with you when you inspect the couch. I wouldn't want him to catch anything. Princess, I'm sorry. I presume your pet is a he, but maybe it's a she. What's his or her name? ? I love pets. You had asked if you even had a pet. Oh, yeah. You asked me for my phone number. It'll be best if you call 713. That's my bank. Please ask for Melissa. Looking forward to doing business, sir. Mr. J.
Quick note here. There was no reply to that email from Mr. Norman. Like what? No pets?
Well, then he's suspect already, I say.
Mm-hmm.
No pets. John, do you have pets?
I do.
I bet you get the Pulitzer Prize for that shit.
Hold it. It's time for a break. The folks at Abstraction Spirits are more than simply connoisseurs of fine bourbon. They consider the delicate distillation process and the blending of beautiful flavors to be an art form. In fact, so much so that each Abstraction Spirit is inspired by the classic works of some of the world's foremost artists. Sip the unfiltered raw honey and mint notes of their 6-year small batch bourbon, Time Sipping Away. It's distinguished, long-lasting, and perfect for a quiet evening on a beachfront balcony. Or, if rye is your preference, try This Old Cowboy Bourbon. This 9-year rye bourbon sits at 100 proof and offers a rugged, flavorful pop to brighten up any gathering. Abstraction also highlights rye whiskey with Memory of Fire, an 8-year single-barrel endeavor. And the latest from Abstraction Spirits is Bat Country, a 9-year toasted stave light whiskey. So no matter if you're hosting an intimate get-together with your closest friends or a casual patio event with the neighbors, or if you just need a quiet night by the fire, Abstraction Spirits has the flavor and finish you need to make your evening a masterpiece. Abstraction Spirits is available in 35 states nationwide. Visit abstractionspirits.com for more. Abstraction Spirits, art in liquid form. Okay, we're back.
So he didn't respond to that email, and 2 days later, I
Okay.
wrote him again.
Thursday, 27th of May, 2004. Ooh, we're back to military time. 1731. To Mr. Norman, subject, problem. Mr. Norman, I wanted to write to inquire after the status of the cashier's check. You said that I should see it by Wednesday, but it did not arrive then, nor it has arrived today, Thursday. Is there some sort of holdup? I should remind you, you are not the only person interested in purchasing this sofa. That's a a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
It's an advertising. Yeah. You are not the only person interested in purchasing this sofa. I have 7 other parties making inquiries, and I have held them at bay for your benefit. I'm
That's
sure
called
that
a lie in advertising.
Well, now the part about 7 other parties was true. That was one of the only true things.
Oh, yeah. You said that at the beginning.
But the fact that I had held them at all at bay for his benefit was not.
Not true. In fact, you had already sold it.
Yeah. He was gone by this point.
But he was actually still holding the others at bay. It was no. It's
Just
good.
for fun. Excuse me, I'm dying over here.
Jay had a lot of balls in the air with this one.
No,
Anything could have happened.
they're all over the couch.
Who knew what was going to go down? Okay.
I'm sure that you do not wish to put me in an awkward position, but I need to know that you are good for your word. Will you please let me know when the check is going to arrive? Eager to hear from you, Jason Odenkirk Hickman. So you've changed your name.
I gave him my full legal name. I figured it was time.
Yeah, good.
Is your middle name really Odenkirk?
No, I wish.
Because of course I
That's
thought
a
of
lie,
Bob
John.
immediately.
No, that was also a lie. I meant to tell you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, meanwhile, from Mr. Norman Chris, Friday, May 28th, 2004 at 6:20 a.m. Boy, he really likes the early emails.
Yeah, man, he's on.
And I love the fact the subject line changes with every email, even though it seems like it's just a reply. Anyway, subject, sorry, the number 4, the delay.
He's so hip.
Yeah.
Hello, Jay. I'm sorry for the delay in sending the check. Probably you would receive the check on Tuesday.
Yeah, there's 2 receipts. That's not a slip.
Sorry once again for the delay.
That's right. No, you're right on it.
Please reply ASP. Greetings, Mr. Norman.
Okay. Friday, 28th of May, 4:53 in the PM. Okay, so later that same day. To Mr. Norman Chris, responding to sorry for the delay. Tuesday, all caps. Mr. Norman, look, I don't mean to come across as being at all rude, but this sofa is taking up valuable space here. On the promise that your check was going to arrive this Wednesday, I have already ordered my SwimX swim in place lap pool. The delivery men are going to be bringing it this week. I'm not going to have room for it in my living room until I ship the sofa out. You have already sent the check, haven't you? How is it being sent? FedEx? Is there a tracking number? Anything? Can you give me any assurances that it will be here on Tuesday? Then when will your Nigerian shipping company be here to pick it up? Only after I've wired them the money, I take it. Again, Mr. Norm, I'm very pleased that we're able to do business together, but time is of the essence. I eagerly look forward to some good news. Jason.
From Mr. Norman Chris, Saturday, May 29th, 2004, 6:20 a.m. Sorry for the delay. Reply. Hello, Jay. No problem. You'll receive, and Yule is U''LL. You'll receive the check on Tuesday. I know how you feel, but I reassure you. Thanks, Mr. Norman.
I feel so reassured already. All right.
Right to the point. I mean, he's not mincing words.
Yep. Saturday, May 29th, 2004, 8:02 a.m. To Mr. Norman, I am grateful for your reassurances, misspelled in quotes. They have made everything better. I will look for your check on Tuesday. Until then, have a happy Memorial Day. Do they celebrate Memorial Day in Nigeria? Then again, is that where you are or just your shipping company? I guess I never thought to ask. Best, Mr. J.
From Mr. Norman Chris, date Saturday, May 29th, 2004, 8:27 p.m. Subject, urgent response needed. Hello. I just want to inform you that my client has issued a check. to your location today and said that you will receive the check on Wednesday. Okay, so I want you, as soon as you receive the check, cash it and send the excess funds to my shipper in Nigeria that same day.
Ooh, there was like no punctuation in any of that.
Very Latin.
Correct.
All right. Thursday, June 3rd. Have we taken a jump here? Oh, yeah. 4 days later. Mr. Norman, Wednesday has come and gone, and no cashier's check has arrived. I think I've been more than patient with you, but deadline after deadline has passed without your holding up your end of the bargain. I have another buyer for this sofa, Mr. Norman, and I am not going to ask him to wait any longer while you get your client and your shipper and your accountant and your interior designer and your hairstylist all organized in order to pay for this couch. So, regrettably, I must deliver this ultimatum. Not even saying regrettably I'm out. If the cashier's check does not arrive by the end of the business day tomorrow, Thursday, then I have to sever ties with you and call my other buyer. If you are still serious, Mr. Norman, then you must let me know, exactly when this check is arriving, by what method it is arriving, what the tracking number or delivery confirmation number is, so that I might determine for myself that you really do mean business. If the check has not come in the next 24 hours and you fail to provide each of these pieces of information, I will have to say goodbye. I'm sorry if things couldn't have been worked out. You seem like a swell guy. Sincerely, Mr. J.
From Mr. Norman Chris, Thursday, June the 3rd, 2004, 4:20 a.m. Ho!
Wow, he's getting earlier.
Yeah.
What time is it in Nigeria at 4:20 a.m. our time?
Stoner.
That's a great question. I will look that up while John is reading the following.
Mm-hmm.
Subject: check will arrive. Hello. I will like to tell you that the check will arrive today. So I want to today. I want to take it to cashing outlets, cash it, and send it to the shipper to enable Heim to come for the pickup of the item. Okay, email ASAP.
I'm sorry. That's good.
Once again, from
Thursday,
Mr. Norman
June 30th.
Chris. Thursday.
This is
Thursday.
Oh, this
June
is
3rd.
sorry.
Yeah, it's still Mr.
Back to
Norman.
backs.
He's
Another one.
he's not on the trail. He's eager now. 2004, 4:29 a.m. A mere 9 minutes after the previous email. Hello, Jay. My shipping agent will be coming to meet you within 48 hours as soon as he receives funds. After you must have wired the balance to him via Western Union. The funds is his shipping funds. I will give you a description. I will give you a description of who the shipper is when he's ready to come over. Here are his information for the wire. His name is Abiola Samuel Temitope, 56 Maryland Road, Lagos, Nigeria, 23401. Folks, write that down.
That sounds fake.
Shipper, like this one doesn't know. Shipper's World 1980 at deliveryman.com.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
his email. Yeah.
Someone's got delivery man as a URL.
You know how much they had to spend on securing that email address?
I can't believe
at least $500 for
I want you to provide me with these details for my record. After you must have sent the funds to my shipper immediately, the check has been cashed. Sender's name, receiver's name, reference numbers, total amount sent, and the test question and answer. Example: what is my name? Answer: Jay. I'll be expecting your reply with the information soonest. Mr. Norman does not let up. Mr. Norman, Thursday, June 3rd, 2004, 6:50 a.m.
Oh, it's the same day.
This is so generous of him for a Nigerian prince. Here are the nearest Western Union one-word outlet around for the fast and good cashing of the check. Also, when cashing the check at the cashing store, some funds will be deducted. And when sending it via Western Union money transfer, also some charges, fees will be deducted.
Hey, you got that one.
all fees. This should be deducted back to
Oh,
from the remaining balance
man.
that should be wired to the shipper.
He was really.
And then a list. He's got a list of grocery stores, a bank, and which is inside a grocery store.
Fiesta Mart. They don't even make those anymore.
He's got the grocery store. He's got a bank that's inside the grocery store. Then he separately lists the grocery store.
Yeah. It's being thorough. That's just
then a couple other like 3 other grocery stores. It just says, "I await the info as planned."
Okay. So first of all, Lagos, Nigeria is 7 hours ahead of Houston.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know.
So for his 4:20 a.m.
Yeah, it's quite a reasonable time of day for him.
Oh.
So it was at this crucial point that Mr. Norman decided it was time for me to meet the shipper. I received the first of these unsolicited emails from him on Thursday morning, just 2 hours after Mr. Norman's latest email that same day. My brief exchange with the new guy is as follows.
Oh, who's this other guy in Shipper's World? We speak with John.
Oh, for a good reason. We're staying with John.
Yes.
Okay.
There's good reason.
No, they're very, very
all caps.
Presumptuous.
All caps. Hello, Jay. My name is Mr. Abiola Samuel Tempitope. I am from Shipper's World Clearing and Forwarding in Nigeria. I have been assigned by them to handle Mr. Norman's shipment from you in the United States. I have been instructed by him to send you an email, 2 words. I have been informed that
2 words.
I have been informed that I will be in receiving the shipment with 2 P's, funds from you via Western Union money transfer today. The funds will be used for the freight charges.
Oh.
Kind of a slam against the Asian population. And also for the insurance. So I will await the transfer details. Once this has been done, I will be in the United States to do the pickup. I will give you a call as soon as I arrive in the United States. Mr. Raymond want a copy of the transfer details sent to him also. Name, Mr. Abiola Samuel Tempitope. Address, 56 Maryland Road. City, Lagos. Country, Nigeria. Zip code 23401. Sincerely, Shipper's World Clearing and Forwarding.
Thursday, June 3rd, lunchtime. Who's Mr. Raymond? I'm waiting for a cashier's check from a Mr. Norman, of which I have no assurances so far that it will arrive. Once I am in possession of this check, I will be in touch with you. Best, Jay. So you put your foot down.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Thursday, June 3rd, 2004, 12:46 p.m. Sorry that is mixed up in mail. I want you to have patience for the payment. You will be getting it today by the good grace of God. Samuel.
So
wow,
very biblical name, by the way.
So here I found it interesting and hilarious that this guy, brand new to the game, as he allegedly was, would also be offering me these calming assurances rather than fretting that his biggest shipment of the week was going to fall through because his, quote, client couldn't get his act together. Further, his typos and syntax errors seemed awfully familiar.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see your detective work now.
So the next phase, when Thursday evening arrived, it was time to give Mr. Norman.
That's the deadline, right?
That was the deadline.
Okay.
Like, buddy, if the check has not arrived by Thursday,
I'm selling it to the other guy, which you already had.
Putting a bullet in it.
So when Thursday evening arrived, it was time to give Mr. Norman the bad news. I'd have to say, given his response, that he took it quite well.
Oh, good. Oh, good. So Thursday, June 3rd, 2004, 5:29. Mr. Norman, it is the end of the business day on Thursday and no check has arrived. Since you have refused to tell me the means of its arrival, I have had to presume that it would be coming by regular mail. And thus, the time for even a late arrival has passed. I see. Hang on. Yeah. Therefore, I must call an end to our transaction. I have contacted the other interested party who will be coming this very evening to pick up the sofa, and who will pay me then? Should the check still arrive, against all odds, tomorrow or beyond, I will tear it up and email you a photo of the pieces. I do not wish for you to worry about the well-being of your client's funds. I'm sorry that things did not work out, but I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, however disorganized they may be. I am especially sorry, though, for the inconvenience this will cause to Mr. Samuel Tippytoe. He seems a real straight shooter, and I feel badly that he had to be caught up in all this unpleasantness. I hope you will pass along my regards to him. Sincerely, Mr. J.
Well, Mr. Norman, back in it. Mr. Norman Chris, Friday, June 4th, 2004, 3:30 a.m.
Oh,
Subject RE.
an hour
Check
earlier.
will arrive. All caps.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Jay, I really appreciate your time. Do not think I'm wasting your time in sending you the cashier's check. It was due to a problem that occurred in my client matrimonial home. So you need to bear with me. Now that you have sold item and already the check has been issued out and it will be delivered today, I will love you to just help me in cashing it at any nearest cashing stores and have my shipper's funds wired so as to give your money. And I hope you understanding that it is not easy to issue out a cashier's check. And this is one is already made out to you for causing any mismanagement and any loss. I will love you in get the check cash today. And you should deduct just $500 for yourself as a running around money. Then you can just have my shipper's funds wired today so as to have us from losing. I believe you can do this for me, and I await you soonest reply. Have a nice day and take care of yourself. Man, is he pushy.
So I didn't reply to that email. I mean, what could I say to such a generous offer?
Saturday, June 5th, 2004.
This is John, by the way.
Yeah, but Kyle's setting me up. Thank you, Kyle. No, that's okay, man.
Lowercase for once.
You thought you'd like to take all the roles?
Yeah.
Is that what you thought?
Mr. Norman Chris, Saturday, June 5th, 2004, 20 seconds a.m.
That's not what that means.
With 20 seconds.
Dishonorable discharge.
It's just after midnight, I think.
Yeah, that would be 12.
Jerry, I see why they've got problems over there.
There's only 1 0 too. You think there'd be two?
Anyway, from Mr. Norman Chris. Hello, my client called me and said that the check has arrived to your location.
Yay!
And I want you cash the check and email me the transfer details today, okay? Email ASAP.
0 punctuation for the record.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday, 5th of June, very shortly after that. Mr. Norman, I haven't been to my mailbox yet. I will do so tomorrow to look into the unlikely arrival of this alleged check. Can you please give me your client's name and contact information so that I may be in touch with her to verify her shipping information? I think I would like a little bit of what she's smoking. Just kidding. I'll be in touch again soon.
Respond by Mr. Norman Chris, Sunday, June 6, 2004 at 5:07 a.m. Subject RE urgent.
Sorry, I looked at the spelling.
Hello, with 1 L. I
figure that one out.
I have NENNN your mail, and that sounds good to await the transfer details today. Email ASAP.
All right. So I did indeed go into the bank on Saturday to check on the arrival of this check. Melissa was there and seemed excited to see me. She said, well, it's here. It arrived in last night's mail.
Hey.
I went ahead and opened the envelope per your instructions, but it's all right here.
They did send it.
Was she hoping y'all were going to run off to Nigeria together? She's like, it's here. It came in, Jay.
So
I'm so happy you're here.
When you told her did you tell her what you were doing, or just the would it cost anything if I did this or that? Did she know you were screwing with
she didn't know I was screwing with anybody, but I did mention immediately Nigerian cashier's check scam. She's like, oh yes, I've heard all about it. Big problem. I'm like, the reason I bring this up is I have a prospective buyer for an item
and 3 cars,
and I'm a little bit suspicious. So I just want your help to make sure I'm doing all this right. She's like, absolutely, Mr. Hickman, you're one of our top low-level customers.
Oh, that's sweet. Thanks, Melissa.
You're one of our top customers in the lowest 5% of our.
That was early on. You must read what she said. You must.
All right. We're here. We're here. Yeah. I'm not going anywhere, John Swayze.
I know.
Stop interrupting, Kyle. Stop interrupting.
This is your faith in banking.
It's about trust.
She handed me a UPS Express pack. The shipping label on the Express pack was interesting to read. The sender's portion of the label had been printed, designating an account in good standing with UPS. There was an account number filled in the appropriate box, but the boxes for name and telephone number were blank.
Oh, no.
In the from box, the following was typed: United Nation Dev Program, 11 Oyenkan Abayome Drive, Ioki, Lagos, Country, NIG. The address that I had provided for myself was written in. Inside the express pack was an unmarked and unsealed 9x12 manila envelope. And inside that was a white legal size envelope.
Now it's important.
Also unsealed, it was addressed to me, again using the bank address that I had provided. On the back of the envelope was the following return address. The penmanship was not exquisite by any means, so some of the spelling is a guess. Steve Crow, 192 Marbley Avenue, Auburn, Washington, 98002.
Have we looked up? Is that a real place?
No. Please do. So my client was first a man, then a woman, and now a man again. Sex change operations are supposed to be incredibly expensive. No wonder this person had a spare $500 to give me in running around money. But enough about that. Inside this last envelope was a cashier's check made out to me in the amount of 3,500 American dollars.
Oh,
nice. The issuing bank was Valrico State Bank in Plant City, Florida. I don't know if that's a real place either.
No.
The remitter.
There is in Auburn, Washington.
Okay. Well, that's good.
But that guy's dead. Steve Crow is no longer living.
Steve Crow, long since deceased. The remitter of this check was named as John Campbell. The check appeared to be signed by Maria D. Lopez.
All right.
As with Steve Crow, I had no idea who any of these people were. I spent a moment or two to take it all in and was snapped out of my reverie by Melissa, who cheerily offered, "So, you want me to phone it in for you?" Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
I'll be right back, she said. She took the check, went behind the teller's counter to use one of the phones there. She was back there for about 10 minutes and had even switched phones at one point. Right. It did not look good for my $500.
Oh, no.
She finally returned to her desk where I waited with a handful of papers and a rather neutral look on her face. She handed me the check and said, "Well, it's good."
What?
I waited for the punchline. And she seemed to be waiting for me to pick my jaw up off the floor and say something like, "Great, I'll take it in 20s and 50s. She wouldn't budge, so I finally had to say something. I'm sure that my recollection has me much more composed, but I'm willing to bet that the following was punctuated by many more stammers and ums than I'll credit myself for. So tell me how you came to this conclusion." She rather patiently explained that the verification of funds had been a 2-tiered process. She had called the Valrico State Bank and had spoken to a weekend supervisor who checked the routing number and other such identifiers on the bottom of the check. Based on her findings of that information, the check was perfectly valid.
Well, yeah.
Melissa had then called Washington Mutual's IPS. I don't know what that acronym means. which told her basically that no stop payment had been placed on the check, thereby rendering it valid as far as they were concerned.
So you could cash it.
Yeah. But I didn't want to.
Oh.
I had trouble swallowing that pill. I had been so sure that the check was going to be counterfeit that I had made absolutely no contingencies for the scenario that was now playing itself out. I wasted a great deal more of Melissa's time by asking and re-asking her to explain how this check.
And you're not telling her what you're doing? What happened all this time?
Still not letting her in on the fun. I told her of my suspicions, though, and she assured me that she remembered why I felt that way.
Oh, wow.
But there was no longer any doubt. So I go, okay, let's explore this hypothetical. What if I cash this check right now and walk out with $3,500? What could possibly go wrong from that point? She explained that even if an attempt was made to place a stop payment on the check after I left the bank, no one could do anything about it. The piece of paper I was holding was, quote, as good as cash, quote, and could be treated as such. It just seemed too easy. And I was unwilling to go charging in and cash the check. Poor Melissa. She had probably brokered hundreds of transactions like this without all the fraudulent part and couldn't possibly understand why I was having trouble. I was having such a hard time taking my money out of that building. I told Melissa that I wanted to continue to exercise the utmost caution and asked what the safest course of action would be from this point.
She probably thought you were crazy.
I think that's possible. She suggested that I deposit the check in my account and just let it sit there until a safe amount of time had passed. For additional, quote, peace of mind, she said she would email the branch manager of Valrico State Bank in Plant City, Florida, who was not available until Monday, to get final verification that the check was good. She said she would
spelled correctly.
Yeah, with 2 eyes, 3 eyes. She said that she would hear back from the manager on Monday and would let me know the final word.
Okay.
This seemed reasonable.
Sure.
And I told her that I would not touch my account until Monday when I had heard from her. She said, of course, sir. But her eyes told a different story altogether. Like, whatever, crazy man, go tell Oliver Stone all about it. One final request from me. Can I please have a copy of the check before you deposit it? Thanks. Oh, yeah. And would you mind if I took a few minutes to copy down a capsule summary of everything we've discussed here today and then have you sign off on it? Melissa goes, sure.
You're like the worst customer ever.
Could you please speak into the flower?
So, yeah.
You know what's going to happen?
She quit her job. She tells
Melissa,
the story.
Melissa is the woman who wanted the couch. He wants this to go through.
Whatever Oliver Stone.
That's so Melissa tells the story today, and that's why I started working at Taco Bell. So I wrote down a summary of what Melissa had just told me, that everything was cool. And Melissa very gamely signed her name to that.
Oh, wow.
Like, what a champ.
Oh, Melissa, you don't know what you've gotten yourself into.
It's a good thing I was single at the time.
Was Melissa okay?
I'm on the verge of meeting the woman of my dreams.
I don't think was she okay. She's just gullible.
And she gives you $3,500.
And then she made the deposit for me and returned with a deposit slip, which said that I was now $3,500 richer.
Okay.
I walked out of the bank with mixed emotions.
Yeah.
I didn't email Mr. Norman with news of my successful transaction. And I certainly didn't trot off to my nearest Western Union station.
No.
I decided to sit tight until I had heard from Melissa on Monday and just hope that Mr. Norman wouldn't start making any impatient queries as to the status of my wire. Thankfully, he did not.
Okay.
On Monday morning.
Glad to see he's as lax in his follow-through as he is with his grammar.
That was lucky for me. On Monday morning, I received the phone call that I had been eagerly anticipating. Hello, Mr. Hickman? This is Melissa such and such. Oh, hi, Melissa. How are you? Not so well. I just got off the phone with the branch manager of the Valrico State Bank branch I've been dealing with.
So that's a real place.
Apparently real. And she informs me that the check you received is counterfeit.
Oh,
Mr.
no.
Hickman, do not touch that $3,500.
Oh, but you already bought that mink convertible.
3 of them.
Convertible. It was ironic that this terrible news would come as such a relief to me, but it did.
I guess so.
I tried my best to contain my joy as Melissa went on to explain the gravity of the situation. She was not the same self-assured, graciously tolerant banker I'd spoken to on Saturday.
No, because she got bumped down to janitor after that at the bank.
Right. She almost gave away $3,500 fake dollars.
Right? I assured her I had no plans to spend or withdraw the money. She was appreciative of that and went on to explain to me how such a series of mishaps could have led everyone to be so wrong. Apparently, the weekend supervisor that Melissa had spoken to quite simply, quote, did not know what she was talking about, end quote. How convenient. I asked her if we now had that.
Do we have her name or
weekend manager's name or the current status of her employment?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no such news. Melissa told me that she had been on the phone all morning on this case and had spoken to the Valrico branch manager at length, as well as the loss detection department of Washington Mutual. She had gone to some pains to assure that team that I was blameless in all of this and had asked to proceed very cautiously.
I just Googled Valrico Bank and the autofill was Valrico Bank robbery.
That's surprising.
Hi, Melissa.
Melissa did not want me to be penalized in any way for this misunderstanding, which I certainly appreciated. She told me further that she had a short paper trail that she'd be happy to share with me if I wanted to come into the bank to see what she'd accomplished so far. I said that I had plans to come by anyway and would see her that afternoon. By 5:20 p.m., I had been arrested.
I'm recording.
End of story. We're speaking to Jay here via window glass.
After part 8, the last song of the evening.
Okay.
After I had received Melissa's call on Monday morning, I knew it was time to bring my adventure to a close. My email to Mr. Norman that evening began the final phase of our correspondence. I decided not to let him in on all of the excitement right away, but rather see what further information I might be able to elicit from him.
Fantastic. Monday, June 7th, 1931. Subject, good news. Mr. Norman, I am pleased to let you know that the check did arrive over the weekend. I just got it today. Per your instructions, I have cashed the check and am waiting further direction for wiring the funds to Mr. Samuel. I have to admit, Mr. Norman, I am a little nervous. I'm sitting on more than $3,000 in American cash, and I'm eager to make sure it reaches its proper destination. I have only wired money once before, but it was not a long time ago, and I don't think it worked either. Don't I need some numbers, like a routing number or an account number? Can you please provide those to me? I have Mr. Samuel's address, but I'm almost positive that I need more information than that to get the funds to him. I would feel most comfortable if I could just speak to you by phone about all this. Can I please have your phone number? That would make me feel much better. I eagerly await further instructions. To God, all glory be given, Mr. J. P.S. This has all been going so well. I am prompted to tell you, I also have some old bed sheets and secondhand kitchen appliances that I am interested in selling. Do you know if your client has any interest? It's good. I totally forgot that we were selling the couch. The couch is gone at this point.
Yeah. I mean, my dude, you're going to make $1 million. Response from Mr. Norman Chris, Tuesday, June 8th, 2004, 3:11 a.m. Subject, info for wiring. Sounds great. I will like you to get money via any Western Union around today here again is the info I want you to have it wired to. His name is Mr. Abiola Samuel Tempitopi, Address 1 Victoria Iceland Road.
Iceland Road.
We've changed.
Jesus.
We've changed the address.
Samuel Timmy Tope is from a different place now.
Yeah, he just moved. He moved over the weekend.
Well, he's got this kind of money. He can buy.
He's got the same zip code, I see.
City, Lagos, country, Nigeria, zip code 23401.
That's in 12304. They're just throwing it around and different. Anyway.
Siri's trying to jump in the podcast here. Please ensure that you let him have all the necessary Western Union information. And please ensure you send from a gas station or a grocery store. And this is my favorite.
Whatever you do, don't go to a bank.
This is why I have lured you.
Oh.
Please supervise the transfer. Thanks once again, and regards to your family, which he already said he doesn't have.
Yeah.
I want you to provide me.
Just don't listen.
I want you to provide me with these details for my record after you must have sent the funds to my shipper via Western Union. Sender's name, receiver's name, MTCN numbers, money transfer control number, total amount sent, test question and answer, sender address. I'll be expecting your reply with the information soonest. Regards.
So as you all saw, Mr. Samuel's mailing address just changed. 5 days ago, it was 56 Maryland Road, and now it's 1 Victoria Iceland Road. None of this matters even slightly to me at this point, but still interesting.
Tuesday, June 8th, 2004, 1:57 p.m. Mr. Norman, my bank has let me know that they could easily perform the wire for me, so I will go send it from there later today. I'll let you know when I have all the transaction details. So you're prompting a response. I'll let you know when I have all the transaction details. Best, Mr. J. P.S. You didn't let me know if you'd be interested in the bed sheets and kitchen appliances.
So no response from Mr. Norman.
What?
He must have known that my insistence on wiring the money from my bank would spell bad news for him.
No way. Oh,
it's a theory.
You
knew the jig was up.
Big response on this one.
Let's go.
Tuesday, June 8th, 2004, 5:53 p.m. Subject, good news and bad news. Mr. Norman, I just got back from my visit to the bank today, and I have both good news and bad news. Which would you like first? I always like to start with the good. So here goes. The good news is that the bank was able to alert me to the fact that your cashier's check was counterfeit before I wired the money to your shipper, Mr. Temitope. The bad news, as you might have guessed, is that you will not be getting any money from me. And there's more bad news, I'm afraid. Pursuant to the discovery of your fraudulent scheme, I have notified the Federal Bureau of Investigation, their subdivision, the Internet Fraud Complaint Center, the Secret Service, the Houston Police Department, and the Texas Rangers. This latter entity is an elite law enforcement division that you do not want to cross, Chris. Sorry.
Cross, Chris.
Crisscross.
Yeah, that was on purpose.
That's great. That could have been a great misspelling on purpose.
Well, it wasn't.
Okay. All of these agencies, with strong encouragement from Washington National Mutual Bank, have decided to pursue a criminal case against you and your partners. Worse still is the fact that the FBI has apparently traced your emails to a computer in the United States. Doesn't that suck?
Worse still.
I'm disappointed.
Hold on to your
in you.
britches there, Mr. Norman. This is not over.
The grammar aside, I'm disappointed in you, Mr. Norman. If that is your real name, I thought that we were going to be great friends and business partners, to grow old together and intermarry our families. But that is impossible now because of your cold, dark, dishonest heart. Oh, yeah, and because of the fact that you are now going to be spending the rest of your days rotting in prison. Well, those are the breaks, I guess. Good luck dealing with the authorities. Warmest regards, Jason O. Hickman. P.S. The deal to buy the bed sheets and kitchen appliances is now off.
This was the last email that I would send to Mr. Norman. While I had expected as much, I was still disappointed when I didn't hear anything back from him. Oh, well.
All right.
The part about the FBI tracing his emails to the United States was not true.
Of course not.
But it was worth a shot. Maybe I actually lucked out and successfully called his bluff. Maybe that's why he fell silent.
Yeah.
The part about the HPD and the Texas Rangers wasn't true either, but you've probably already guessed that. What
they're
is
an
true,
elite force.
they're elite.
Not to be
They're elite.
crisscrossed with.
Not to be crisscrossed with. What is true is that WAMU Bank is indeed interested in conducting an investigation 20 years ago. I have not yet heard from their loss detection department, but I'm expecting to 20 years ago. I'm glad that at least someone up there has been rattled a little.
Yeah.
When they reach out, I'll have plenty of information to give them. For now, I guess this is the end.
I think you need to go find and see if Melissa's still working there.
Yeah.
I bet that girl remembers this, at least some of this.
So here's okay. So first of all, what a great story. And kudos, Kyle, to you for portraying Jay Hickman. The bottom of the barrel players, once again, at its finest, just peak of performance. Well done to all three of us. But I would like to say, let's just
one of our best.
A little analysis of this story. So quick question, Jay. If you had cash that check, I'm assuming you're a WAMU customer. That's your bank. So if you had cashed that check and not deposited it, but cashed it and taken the $3,500 and gone and whatever with it, that Melissa would be Melissa's actually on the hook for that, not you. You were like, no, I was told this was a good check. I
don't know how banks work.
I think I know.
Because she followed whatever their protocol was.
Right. Well, I mean, she okayed everything. Like, I even called on it. I mean, I think you're.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think you would have been caught eventually because you knew that they would have found emails and stuff going. You knew.
This is the incriminating evidence that.
But I'm just saying, in a world of, like, for instance, if you just get a check and you deposit it because you think it's a good check, but it turns out that check was a hot check.
Yeah.
How does that work?
If you deposit it is one thing, but if you cashed it, because see, I don't think, well, I know, like, if you try to cash a check, the issuing bank knows immediately, hey, there's not enough funds to cover this, or that account doesn't even exist, or whatever it is.
He's speaking from personal experience here.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I think Melissa really would have been in some hot water. This wasn't, hey, your till did not match at the end of the day, but you were off by 92 cents. This is $3,500 that she would have okayed, which would have made her kind of look like she was in cahoots, I think.
But I don't know. If she followed there, you got to, double check the double cross. And she did that initially.
Well, and she talked to Velcro Bank or whatever the hell.
Valrico. Remember that name.
Valrico.
My favorite bank.
Valrico, remember
Valrico.
But so are you saying the weekend manager would have been on the hook?
Yeah, she blamed the weekend manager. She did.
She was happy.
That's why he's a weekend manager. He'll never make normal manager.
You assumed that was a man. What the?
So I have an answer to your question, John. I think Melissa indeed would have gotten in some trouble, but it's their policy. The Washington Mutual Bank would not have allowed themselves to lose $3,500. Like, they would have come after me.
Well,
they would have been like, listen, this is our fault, but it's your problem.
Yeah.
Give us
you better show us those bed sheets and appliances.
Kitchen appliances.
We're going to have to parlay that.
Pony up with the bed sheets.
What do you got, a toaster?
But if you cashed it and went to Vegas,
The king sheets or queen?
I had like two accounts. I had a savings and a checking account. They would have been happy to put a hold on them.
They would have sucked it right out of your account.
Yeah. I don't doubt for a second.
I thought this was about trust.
It was.
Mutual.
I didn't establish with Melissa that it had to be established on trust. That was just between me and Mr. Norman.
Oh, okay. But they do call a bank and trust, right?
Well, you can, the trust, that was the,
That means something different.
Oh, trust doesn't mean the same thing in bank
I'm afraid
language.
not.
I get it. Now it all makes sense.
Not.
Definition 2 of
savings
trust.
and loan.
Money
Trust.
we own that you think you own.
Anyway,
Wasn't that in, wasn't that the trust in A Wonderful Life?
Oh, I don't know.
savings and loan.
No, there was savings and loan. Okay.
Yeah. Whatever started the savings and loan, I'll never know.
Well, I will tell you, Jay,
my little ginger snap.
this was just a wonderful story. It really, really was. And I just think it was brilliant.
Well, we did it. We finally hit bottom. I knew we could. Thanks, everybody. If you'd like to learn more about this finely distilled product, visit bottomofthebarrelpodcast.com, where you can find our previous episodes, merch, and even some Patreon options. If you want to tell us how smart we are, or how stupid we are, or if you have a topic you want us to dive into, hit us up on our socials. Bottom of the Barrel Podcast is on Instagram, X, and YouTube. Research, writing, and hosting duties for Bottom of the Barrel are taken up by John Swayze, Kyle Jones, and Jay Hickman. Our producer and sound engineer is Dave Lasco. Our business and digital manager is Olivia Swayze, and our composer-arranger is Jonathan Benjamin. We also offer our sincere appreciation to our collaborators, without whom we'd merely be floating somewhere around the middle of the barrel. Big thanks to Afshar Karat, Keegan Dalio, and Patrick Marrero. Finally, we'd once again like to thank our sponsor, Abstraction Spirits, art in liquid form, which you can find at abstractionspirits.com. We'll see you next time.